Good morning, everyone. How are you? Hope you are feeling fine. My dear students, in my last two classes, I discussed the rules of using pre-modifiers and post-modifiers. And today, I will discuss the ways of solving a question on modifiers. My dear students, while solving a question on modifiers, you should have a clear idea on the topic. Only knowing the rules is not sufficient. Before answering the question, you should read the question and have a clear idea on the topic. And then you can choose the right words and phrases related to the content or the topic. Otherwise, you cannot answer the question correctly. In today's lecture, I will show you how to solve a question. So, my dear students, let's solve a question. So, my dear students, this is just a part of a question. Let's read the question first. Morning is misty and cold, and here you find the instruction, a gap. There is dense fog, dash. The sun rises, dash, in the morning. People wear, dash, clothes. They get comforts, dash, in the sun. So this topic gives an idea about the words we have to choose. I mean, when we read the text, we get an idea about the topic that we are going to discuss, and that will help us to choose the right word and phrases according to the instruction. Morning is misty and cold. Here the instruction is pre-modify the noun with a noun adjective. There are many noun adjectives, and I am speaking of two possible noun adjectives. We can write here summer or winter. If we write here summer, will this be correct? A summer morning is misty and cold. The sentence is grammatically correct, but the sense is not correct. So actually we should write the word winter, not summer. Here the answer will be winter. A winter morning is misty and cold. There is dense fog. Here post modify the verb. This is the instruction, and a verb can be post modified using an adverb. And there is dense fog, post modify the verb. We can write here everywhere, nowhere, here. But what is the correct answer? There is dense fog. If we write nowhere, will this be correct? There is dense fog nowhere. We are speaking of winter morning, and we know that in a winter morning there is fog or dense fog everywhere. So the correct word is everywhere, not nowhere or here only. So here the correct answer is everywhere. There is dense fog everywhere. The sun rises, post modify the verb, in the morning. Here this is the verb rises, and you will have to post modify this verb. And to post modify this, again we can use different adverbs to make a grammatically correct sentence. But to make the sense correct, you should choose the right word. The sun rises, we can write early in the morning. The sun rises we can write late in the morning. We can write quickly in the morning. But this word is not appropriate. And actually, which one is correct? Late or early? We know in a winter morning the sun rises late, because in the morning the sun is in most cases covered with mist, dense fog, and the sun rises late. So the correct word is late, not early. The sun rises late in the morning. People were pre-modify the noun clause. Here this is the noun clause, and this can be pre-modified using a noun adjective or noun. We can write many adjectives here to make a grammatically correct sentence. People were gorgeous clause. People were cheap clause. People were expensive clause. People were dirty clause. But these words are not correct according to the sense, according to the topic or the content. People were warm clause. In winter, to escape from the pinching or bitter cold, people wear warm clothes. So here the correct word is warm. People wear warm clothes. They get comforts. Post modify the verb with an infinitive in the sun. They get comforts in the sun. And here you will have to use an infinitive. Again, you will have to choose the correct infinitive according to the topic or the content. And we can write to be in the sun or to bask in the sun. People get comforts to bask in the sun or to be in the sun. And now the next part of the question. Those who don't have clothes suffer from pre-modify the noun cold. So you will have to pre-modify the word cold. People suffer from, and this is an adjective, sorry, noun, and you will have to use this use an adjective to modify this noun. So what is the right adjective here? Those who don't have clothes suffer from, we can write bitter cold, pinching cold, or severe cold. So these are the words you can choose to pre-modify the noun cold. And here all three ones are correct. Sometimes the fog is so dense even things at a distance can dash pre-modify the verb be seen. And here the verb will be pre-modified with an adverb. So what is the right adverb here? You can write here often, you can write here hardly, but which one is correct? Actually, to choose the right one, you should think of the topic or the content. Sometimes the fog is so dense, even things at a distance can, you can write often be seen. But if you write here often, this will not be correct according to the content. So you should use the word hardly, hardly be seen. Sometimes the fog is so dense, even things at a distance can hardly be seen. People like, post modify the verb with an infinitive indoors. Here like, and this verb will be post modified with an infinitive. People like dash indoors. And here to be, This is an infinitive you can write here. People like to be indoors. People like to stay indoors. You can also use this infinitive, to stay or to be. The fog disappears when the sun rises up. Dewdrops, post modify the noun with a prepositional phrase. Dewdrops, this noun phrase will be post modified by a prepositional phrase. Dewdrops look like falls. So in a winter morning, we find dewdrops on the grass. So we can write here, on the grass. Dewdrops on the grass look like falls. Rural people gather around the fire, and here the instruction is post modify the verb with an infinitive phrase. Rural people gather around the fire. We know in winter rural people gather around the fire to warm themselves. So we can use the infinitive phrase here, to warm themselves. Rural people gather around the fire to warm themselves. So my dear students, I am repeating the ways to solve a question on pre-modifier again. Only knowing the rules is not enough. You should use the words and phrases according to the instruction, but at the same time you should keep in mind the topic or the content. The word or the phrase should be according to the content or the topic. And if you can do this, I think you will be able to write a correct answer on this type of question. And now you can see the answers here. Winter morning is misty and cold. There is dense fog everywhere. The sun rises late in the morning. People wear warm clothes. They get comforts to bask or to be in the sun. Those who don't have clothes suffer from severe, you can also write, pinching or bitter cold. Sometimes the fog is so dense even things at a distance can hardly be seen. People like to be indoors. The fog disappears when the sun rises up. Dewdrops in the morning. Here the prepositional phrase in the morning has been used, and you can also write on the grass. Dewdrops on the grass look like falls. Rural people gather around the fire to warm themselves. So my dear students, these are the answers, and following these rules or techniques you can correctly answer a question on modifiers. So my dear students, that's all today. Thank you very much. In my next class I will discuss another topic. Okay, thank you again.